If you're craving some disgusting, unhealthy fast food drinks, then check out these treats filled with slime, misleading names, and so much belly-busting sugar. Before we get into the list, keep in mind that the American Heart Association recommends that men consume no more than 36 grams of added sugar per day. For women, that figure is 25 grams. Keep those benchmarks in mind, because these chains sure didn't. You could pick almost any Starbucks Frappuccino for this list, as they're basically caffeinated milkshakes. We singled out the Caramel Ribbon Crunch because it's the most sugary of the bunch. A venti contains 78 total grams of sugar and 570 total calories. It also has 4 more grams of saturated fat than a Big Mac. If you're wondering how a coffee drink can have more saturated fat than a hamburger with 2 patties, just browse through the ingredient list. You'll notice the word sugar in there about 8 different times. Worst of all, most Frappuccinos don't even use freshly brewed coffee. Instead, they contain a powdered mix that's closer to instant coffee than it is to espresso. If you haven't eaten for an entire week or just finished an Ironman triathlon, replenishing your depleted body with a quick injection of 1,720 calories is as simple as a large Oreo and Reese's peanut butter shake from Sonic. But for the rest of us, this frozen treat is more trouble than it's worth. It's only 40 calories less than an order of 24 Sonic boneless buffalo wings, and it also has 8 more grams of saturated fat. The miniature version of this shake is still enough to send your body into overdrive with its 40 grams of sugar and 590 calories. As the ounces increase, so does the sugar hangover, as a large contains almost a day's worth of calories, as well as 106 grams of fat and 107 grams of sugar. The moderately good news is that Sonic stopped short of offering this shake in its larger-than-large Route 44 size. Culver's salted caramel concrete mixer with Reese's peanut butter cups gives Sonic a serious run for its money. This frozen custard treat has 90 fewer calories than Sonic's so-called disaster shake, but it somehow found a way to sneak in more sugar, about 50 grams more to be exact. Overall, it boasts 157 grams of sugar, which is more than 4 times the magic 36 number.
We put as much care into our fresh frozen custard as Reese's puts into its peanut butter cups.
On the plus side, Culver's at least offers some thorough nutrition breakdowns. The salted caramel splash adds 38 grams of sugar on its own, and the Reese's cups sprinkle in an additional 21 grams of sugar. This combination just barely edges out the caramel mixers with brownies and cookie dough as the worst option of the Culver's bunch. McDonald's didn't exactly build an empire on the backs of fresh produce. We imagine you wouldn't order a chocolate shake without any chocolate in it, or French fries made without any potatoes. So why would you order a strawberry banana smoothie with no fresh fruit? To make this smoothie, employees simply press one button on a machine, and then the smoothie pops out. That's it. That's the whole process. The nutrition facts in this case aren't completely terrible. Sugar appears 6th on the ingredients list for the fruit base and 2nd on the list of ingredients in the yogurt, which is better than most cereal brands can say. Best of all, there are 0 added sugars. But that doesn't mean that there's no sugar, as a large contains 68 grams. The major problem is the lack of fresh fruit, even though McDonald's has frequently posed the smoothie next to strawberries and bananas in their ads. Instead, it's just a pre-made mix of fruit, purees, juice concentrates, and yogurt. Speaking of fruit drinks, Starbucks refreshers make McDonald's smoothies seem fresh squeezed by comparison. The world leader in coffee has rounded out its beverage menu with drinks for all occasions, including cool glasses of fruity bliss for hot summer days. Their refreshers launched in 2012 with the promise of a distinctly new take on thirst-quenching refreshment. Essentially, this means a combination of green coffee extract and real fruit juice. In July 2022, Starbucks marked a decade of cool beverages with the release of new pineapple passion fruit and paradise refreshers. But less than a month later, a class action lawsuit was filed that alleged that the refreshers don't contain the fruits listed in the names of the drinks. Court proceedings are ongoing as of 2023, so we'll have to wait to see whether Starbucks has a bit of mango concentrate hidden up its sleeve. At the moment, though, there isn't a whole lot of evidence to support them. All it takes is a quick trip to the ingredient list of any one of these refreshers to discover the lack of ingredients. Instead, there's a base of water, sugar, and white grape juice concentrate.
A Starbucks spokesperson saying the allegations in the complaint are inaccurate and without merit.
The process behind Wendy's lemonade might leave a sour taste in your mouth, but will at least give the chain some credit. Nowhere does Wendy's claim that its lemonade is freshly made. Still, the all-natural label might rightfully give you the impression that a lot of fresh lemons go into making this beverage. So while the chain might be taking lemons and making lemonade, it's definitely not happening in-store. A Wendy's worker posted a TikTok that confirmed our worst fears about the process, as he took a lemonade concentrate and mixed it with tap water. That's not necessarily a bad thing, as that's the same way most of us would make lemonade from concentrate at home. The real issue is that this lemonade costs more than a soda from the drink machine. Thus, it's pretty much the same thing as Minute Maid lemonade, which only underscores the lack of freshness. The first 2 words of the description of the strawberry lemon mint charged lemonade on Panera's website are plant-based, which seems unnecessary to even mention. If lemonade isn't plant-based, then that's something that shouldn't be announced far and wide. The description also refers to this drink as clean, which essentially means that there are no artificial ingredients. Some of their all-natural ingredients include strawberry, lemon, mint, agave vegetable juice, coffee extract, and sugar. This all sounds well and good so far, but then things start to go off the rails as the drink reportedly packs almost as much caffeine as Panera's dark roast coffee. If you want to get in more than a single day's recommended amount of sugar in the same sips as your afternoon caffeine count, you'd be better off pouring a Red Bull into a 20-ounce Coca-Cola. This lemonade almost doubles the caffeine count of that combo with 237 milligrams, and along with its 60 grams of sugar, you'll be bouncing off the walls all day. Fast food chains generally aren't breaking out secret ingredients to brew their sweet teas. Most managers are simply mixing a black tea blend from Lipton with scoops and scoops of sugar. It's not exactly the healthiest way to drink tea, but we're not here to say that you can't ever indulge a little once in a while. But when it comes to Biscuitville, it's another story. If you've ever found yourself enjoying a meal in the land of buttermilk baked bread, you may have thought to yourself that this particular sweet tea hits differently. That's because there are more than a few extra scoops of sugar in there. Specifically, a 32-ounce serving contains a whopping 114 grams of sugar. That's more than double the amount in McDonald's or Chick-fil-A's large sweet iced teas. There's so much sugar in here that it even beats out most fast food milkshakes.
I love you, sugar.
We certainly don't expect McDonald's McCafe to have the most high-quality coffee in the world, but we do think it's reasonable to expect it to be fast and sanitary. Alas, that might not be the case. One McDonald's employee took to Reddit to claim that some locations don't take the time to clean out their machines. According to the employee, they didn't have the necessary equipment to get back there properly, so cleaning the machine meant wiping down the exterior and running hot water through the system, which apparently isn't enough to sanitize properly. For its part, McDonald's has tweeted that the high-tech machines clean themselves daily. We can assume that cleaning products are at least used occasionally, partly because McDonald's Canada has reportedly accidentally served customers sanitizing chemicals when they ordered lattes. But these could be just a few isolated incidents that aren't representative of the whole company. Some other workers have also pushed back, including one in the same Reddit thread who said that the machines are cleaned nightly at their location. At the very least, you should ask some tough questions before you confirm your order, or maybe ask to see a scrub brush. Starbucks' official drink of fall was once described by Vox as equal parts dairy and diabetes. While the pumpkin spice latte has evolved a lot over the years, with the addition of real pumpkin and the removal of artificial coloring, the truth is that you should only ever order a small version. Or better yet, just avoid it completely. For one thing, vegans should be aware that the revamped pumpkin spice sauce uses condensed skim milk, even if you order almond, oat, or coconut milk. There aren't many monsters hiding inside this latte, just an espresso shot with a hefty dose of spices and sweeteners. A grande serving delivers 50 grams of sugar, 390 calories, and 14 grams of fat. On one small positive note, there are also 14 grams of protein. In summary, we can only recommend this drink if you're bulking up to hibernate.
Pumpkin spice lattes taste like a candle tastes. Don't ask me how I know that.
Dunkin takes the crown for sneaking in the most sugar of any drink on this list. Specifically, a large caramel swirl frozen coffee provides 175 grams. That's nearly 5 times your recommended daily value packed into one cool plastic cup. The danger in this drink is that it doesn't come across as threatening as a milkshake filled with candy. You don't need a health expert to tell you that a milkshake should be saved for special occasions, but a frozen coffee might trick you into believing that it's relatively harmless. And you don't even have to go large to swerve into dangerous territory, as the caramel swirl frozen coffee already hits 98 grams of sugar in a small. It takes a whole team of sugar merchants to put up numbers like that. Furthermore, this drink's ingredient list includes at least 8 mentions of sugar, corn syrup, and high fructose corn syrup. And that doesn't even count instances of sweeteners camouflaged under code names like dextrose. We'll finish off this list of warnings with one general plea. No matter what fast food chain you're eating at, you should never get ice in your drink. That might sound a little over the top, but study after study has revealed some rather disturbing results. For example, in 2013, the Daily Mail tested 10 restaurants in Great Britain and found that ice in 6 of them had more bacteria than the water from the restaurant's toilets. Then in 2017, the Daily Mail reported about similar tests with similar results from a study commissioned by the BBC Watchdog program. There are also several first-hand accounts from the professionals who are hired to clean the machines that confirm these studies. In a 2017 interview with Click2 Houston, Andy Spellins, a technician specializing in ice machine sanitation, revealed that he frequently finds slime in the area where ice drops out of a chute and into the ice bin. The slime that he's referring to is a moldy bacteria that can sprout fingers, and there are plenty more ice machine horror stories where that came from.
Slime in the ice machine. It has been a part of Houston's vocabulary for decades now.
An HVAC technician who goes by the Iceman on TikTok has posted plenty of video evidence with a series called May I Get That With No Ice? These clips feature trips to different commercial ice machines in various states of disgusting disrepair. They're unforgettable visual testaments to all of the horrors that lurk in some of our favorite eateries.